So, as a new player in Final Fantasy XIV, I am trying my best to soak in all the glory of the game without spoiling anything. That's like what I'm trying to do. Dawntrail, the next expansion, is on the horizon, and even though I'm not quite there yet, I am excited to see what it will bring. The biggest thing that I will see immediately is the absolute glow up in character appearance, and holy crap, this is going to be insane. But the problem that I'm looking at is that my computer is a bit older. But how did I do on the benchmark? Well, here's what happened. First, I go ahead and download the client and take a look at the benchmark here as my computer fires up the hamster wheel inside to get things moving. I spent about like 10 minutes rebuilding the glorious stash because I never saved his profile. But once I get that set up, we are good to go. I cycle through some of the funnier looking outfits and all the other voice lines, but just immediately looking at it, it's like, that's some really good high definition stuff going on here. I decided to stick with the starting Cure armor for my Thailander, of course, and then I load in. Immediately, my computer starts steaming, smoke everywhere, it's like hissing at me. Not really, but it does fire up and start doing its thing. First thing I have to say is, damn, these new graphic updates really make the stash look beautiful. Just look at the textures, the environment, the brightness of it all. Oof. It's fantastic. Even like looking down here at the water looks great in this game anyway, in my opinion, but the water here really looks good. I'm curious to see how they do it because I find that in most games that I see, the water is either really high def or non-existent whatsoever. And then we get a quick jump of him riding around with a chocobo, looking at all the cool environment textures and everything. This really just doesn't play well into what my character does because of course the stash must always wear the helmet. The helmet stays on, but I suppose for this we can let it be. We get some combat scenes happening basically in an all-out war. There's all sorts of animations, and I'm guessing that these are the new skills that are going to be tied to the Dawntrail expansion. I haven't looked at them. I've been good. I'm not trying to ruin nothing for myself, but I'm venturing a guess that these are job abilities that are either currently in game or about to be added. And we fly our chocobo off of a damn waterfall, like that's normal, and we whip it out. We whip the swords out. We rip out the swords and start slashing and dashing all over the place while we get some more fancy cutscenes of other classes doing their thing. We beat the hell out of the snaky boy and down he goes. My computer now is running at a cool 2000 degrees as it is melting my leg off to the one side. Then we get a cutscene as this giant frog over and he basically just like points and tells us where we have to go. And we have a whole group of players who are all joining together and our entire troop flies off across the landscape, which again, I'm not gonna lie, like I like the aesthetic of Dawntrail. It seems very island themed, tropical themed. Now, I don't know anything about the story. I don't know why we're here, nor do I want to know about it, but it is pretty cool to see. Square Enix, Yoshi P, y'all really outdid yourselves with some of these graphics. Holy hell. Well, our party slashes all the way up through this like mountain castle type thing and all sorts of mobs getting slapped around. And we get to the pinnacle to fight this two-headed snake man thing. I have no idea what the hell I'm looking at. And now my eyes are twitching and it hasn't gone away. Well, we jump around. We do see this real quick cutscene of a warrior coming in. That was pretty cool. I like that. That was something I noticed. And then we get the finale of the stash slicing through this giant enemy and finishing off the benchmark. We got a cool score of very high and hundreds of adoring fans waiting for my finish. It's basically like I was on stream. The good news is now that my computer is so hot, it ate through the floor and is now in my downstairs. So it seems like my benchmark went pretty damn well, actually. It did very good. Now, I had to go back and seriously look at the graphics in current Final Fantasy XIV and compare them to this of the benchmark trailer, and holy hell, the difference is absolutely insane. The stash really never looked so good. Seriously, this was something else. Now, granted, I won't be able to get into the story or anything fancy like that, but this is something definitely for me to be excited for as a new player. I joked about my computer being, a bit older, and that is truthful. However, it seems to have held its own against this benchmark. I suppose that I was only worried about this because of the encoding that happens along with my stream, and I was worried about the load issue, as this is also my streaming computer. But it did make me feel a little bit better that it handled the game pretty well. I have no complaints there. Now, to be sure, I won't be off on Dawntrail for quite a while, but these massively improved graphics are definitely going to help me want to stay even more enthralled into the game as I already am. Specifically, I loved the definition of Calf Dad's face. And it's because you get so many scenes, and from what I've seen already, your character's face has so many up close and personal scenes that it's nice to have a pretty mug to look at. It's even better now. And of course, Dawntrail is looking like it's going to be great, and it seems like everyone is pretty stoked for the new content, the story, and of course the new jobs. And as a new player, I am really sitting pretty with all the new cool things to play with, as well as the rest of the game that I'm still working on. Now, it seems like we still have a little bit of time before Dawntrail comes out, but I'm excited because everyone else is excited. It kind of makes this Sprout journey a lot more interesting, which you can catch the Sprout journey live Mondays and Fridays at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube. And cheer me on as I basically do my best to play the Dragoon role and floor dive into everything and die. That's what I'm really trying to capture, the most important thing. But I will say recently I was forced to do optional dungeons in Final Fantasy XIV, and it was brutal. You can see the whole story here. As always, stay caffeinated, folks.